You're listening to the Ecosystem Approach show. I'm Jason.
And I'm Patricia.
We discovered that human potential is severely limited when you program humans like a machine, which is standard practice today for self-improvement.
The ecosystem approach teaches you how to uncover your infinite potential by using natural methods that are truly revolutionary. Join us now for the Ecosystem Approach show. Today, we're continuing the channeling session we started 2 weeks ago. In that session, it was determined that Seth came to us because of our evolution and that we had the missing piece. But it wasn't clear, and the audience didn't understand these missing pieces. Today, we're going to let this fascinating story unfold, but we don't even know where it's going to go, where and how it will come forward.
Or what would come forward.
Or what would come forward. That's exactly right. So, Jason, what's happening in today's show?
When we channeled before, we were doing it in our normal studio set. And frankly, it's a little distracting. There are time pressures. We usually have a stopwatch going. And because we only have so much time.
Correct.
So today, we decided to do it something really different. We're going to show you how we actually do it. And we've been doing this for years, not just a few months or whatever. We've been doing this for years.
Correct.
And it's how we get our information. And basically, I'm laying on Patricia's lap and she's rubbing my head. And that's how I know that I receive information from my crown chakra.
Yes, you do.
And she receives information easily, but she needs to feel secure. And having me lay on her lap makes her feel that way. It's a nice connection between the two of us. Frankly, it feels very intimate, and we didn't want to show it because it is kind of intimate between the two of us.
Correct.
But we're just going to let it all hang out. So to speak.
Well,
so,
and the important part here is this information is not just for us. It's for the world.
Exactly.
It's for the world. And that's the reason we came to the conclusion that, well, why not let everyone see the way we do this? Because it is so important.
And frankly, this is unique to us.
Yes.
We're not saying this is the only way you can do it.
Oh, no,
and
not
we're
at
not
all.
suggesting that you do it this way.
No.
You can do channeling as a group. You can, like more than two.
Correct.
You can
absolutely
do it by yourself.
Uh-huh.
There's all sorts of ways of doing it. But so this is how we do it. We just wanted to show you how.
Well, and I just want to put in there, in how we do it, it makes me feel secure, and you'll be able to see it, of course. We both feel very connected to each other, and that is such a gift that Jason and I have. It's easy to work this way and do channeling in the best possible way. Like I said, not only for us, but for you out there, for the world.
And the other thing that we're going to do is we're just going to let the camera run.
Yes,
so I'll go back after, so I won't be worried about time. I'm going to just let it run, and I'll edit out the parts that where if we're pausing or just waiting for information,
correct,
asking questions that aren't germane, I can edit them out later so we can maintain our time.
And I think that's really important, right? Sure, there.
Absolutely. So we're just going to get started. We don't want to wait just chattering about this stuff. We want to show you what's going on.
So continue, join us. And by the way, bring a friend.
Okay. So who's coming forward right now? It's about Seth, Abraham, or Bashar. And who wants to talk first? And today we're trying to ascertain what the missing pieces that we talked about in the last show. We want to get to the missing pieces.
Seth is coming forward.
Yeah. I can hear it too.
When we finished the last time, I'm talking about the last recording with Seth, and Seth really wanted to bring things forward about you. She wants everyone to see how you have the missing pieces. And it's not that I don't have the missing pieces. I'm just the channeler.
So, and really, it's, we created the ecosystem approach together, and the ecosystem approach is what has the missing piece.
That's exactly right.
And the truth is, and I'm just saying this out loud, but it's the whole reason we're doing this is because we don't want people. It's time for people to develop their own evolution, so they go out and talk to whoever they want to. They shouldn't be coming to me to talk to Seth or to Abraham or to us to talk to Seth, Abraham, or Bashar. They should be able to go to whomever they want and evaluate them as a source whenever they want, and that's what we want to try and do.
So I guess here's the point that Seth really wants to make. It's time that people hear, not that the three channelers of Seth, Abraham, and Bashar did anything wrong or are doing anything wrong. That's not what they're saying. But they've gone off on a piece in a direction that's a diversion that we're trying to say you need to come back and
get back on track.
Get back on track. It's not about what the other non-earthly beings are seeing about us. Yeah, that does have it does have some validity,
some
but that's
value. Yeah.
Thank you. It's not the point of what the original Seth, Abraham, and Bashar
we're trying to do.
And so this piece is so. These pieces are so very important.
This is the Ecosystem Approach Show with Jason, and I'm Patricia. And in this segment, we're going to do something different. Oh, what a surprise. In other words, we changed our minds. So, Jason, tell us what happened and what we're doing now.
So we were channeling part 2, and we were going to show you how we did it. We actually did the channeling where I lay on Patricia's lap. And we did part of that in the first segment. But in this segment, I was going to continue on, but it's boring video. I got to tell you. So
what we're talking about isn't boring, but it's boring video.
Yes. So what took us 30, 45 minutes could be summarized into 5, 10. And that's what we're going to do now. We're going to still continue the conversation.
Right.
We're channeling Seth, Abraham, and the Bashars earlier today, just before the show, just a few minutes ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I asked a question. We broke for a bathroom break. And Patricia was walking down the hall, and she yelled something out while I was in the bathroom trying to aim right, And so, it's not like we have to go into a Zen position to do this.
It doesn't. You would think, some would hope it would be that way. We found that it's not.
It's not that,
and that's the interesting part to both of us.
Now that we have this connection with them, they're starting to talk more and more and more.
They are, and one of the things that I will say this: I have requested from all of them, when it's time for me to go to sleep at night, I'm not going to have any communication with you because I need my rest.
I'm going to turn off the channel, so to speak.
Exactly.
There's no setting in the channeling.
It doesn't. It isn't sometimes how things have been for years in electronics. We'll just say it that way. Starting at the beginning. We'll put it that way. So, Jason, let's summarize the first 45 minutes.
Okay.
And I just want to say, tell a friend about what we're doing.
Oh my gosh.
Most people who are doing are interested in this kind of work, there's somebody that they talk to. There's somebody that they get to, that they connect with. And I just want to say this really helps. First off, any questions that you might have, you're talking to a friend, first off, write them down. And that's first thing. But the other thing is that when you get to talk to somebody about it, watch the energy. Watch the energy rise.
It's gonna be amazing.
It really is.
So we started out by asking about the missing pieces when we were doing the clearing.
Correct.
Okay. And we showed you like 8
when
minutes of
we're
it.
doing the channeling.
Yeah.
Yes.
And we showed you about 8 minutes of it, but then we cut it off because we had to for the show.
Correct.
And we kept going. So and this is a summary of it, okay? Seth asked me about the missing piece. Now, and frankly, I wanted to present them, and they're trying to present me because they think I can explain it better, which is kind of true. We've been trying to explain this for forever, but I wanted to see what they had to say because you're tuning in if you saw the title.
That's
because
correct.
You know about Seth, Abraham, and Bashar, and you
Correct.
want to know what they have to say about
Correct.
it. So she kind of turned it around on me. It was okay. It was fine. But she asked me about the missing piece. We talked about the negative energy. That's why people aren't evolving. That
And
it doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense to go outside of yourself to get this information.
Correct.
That what you try and help yourself evolve, so you have access to all of, not just those three, but all of them.
And I want to add here the part that's the most amazing that I see that the other three didn't really realize was I'm going to say the extension, the grandiose of negative energy itself. That's why they're asking us questions, and they're trying to figure out what is it we know, but they're innately they know we know something that they hadn't figured out.
They're not here on the ground, so to speak.
No.
And they're not seeing it the same way
Not
we're seeing
from
it.
the same perspective. Let's say it that way.
So we think it doesn't make sense to go outside of yourself. And then the other thing that we talked about was they wanted an example of
Yes.
how negative energy affects. And I
Yes.
just talked about how cancer is that way.
Yes.
Cancer is a form of negative energy. That's what
Cancer, the disease of
Yes.
cancer.
And that's what took out Jane Roberts.
Yeah.
He was channeling all this stuff, but she couldn't.
She didn't clean out. She didn't. And
she didn't
didn't
know
understand.
how. Yes.
Exactly.
So Seth wanted to make the point that nothing was done wrong. They just got off track.
And by the way, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That's exactly why negative energy.
That's how it works.
That's how it works.
It takes you off track.
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
you're trying to do one thing and you end up doing another.
That's right.
To all sorts of things.
Yes.
And so Seth continued to question me, and we don't want people to go to channelers. We want people to create their own abilities. And that's probably what we're doing. She would say that that's going to take a while.
Well,
so
yeah.
we're going to figure that out together.
Yeah. Yes.
Yes. And so we talked to Jane Roberts, who is there with Seth.
Right.
She died a few years ago, and she's there with Seth, and she's acting sort of like the COO, the assistant to Seth even now, and they've got a nice connection.
They have a great connection. They became friends. I don't know how else to describe it. They became friends, but they're also asking me to join them on a regular basis, which, okay, let me say it that way. But they also, they like the part of that everything right now, and this is exactly what we're talking about. Everything is shifting in the energetic world. They're starting to see a shift, one that they all confirmed, and I'm talking about Seth, Jane, Abraham, and Bashar 2 and 3, they're starting to see
this negative energy is blocking evolution, but
exactly.
it's not known how to overcome it.
No.
And that's what we've been working on since we've been doing this in the last
Yes.
25 years.
Yes.
So here's the big news, okay? And this was the big part of the collaboration.
Okay. Yes.
And we asked them if all three were willing to collaborate with each other to help the earth evolve. And that was pretty radical. And Abraham broke down into 4 groups, and all 4 groups said that they were willing. Remember, Abraham's a collective.
Yes.
Seth said yes, she's willing to collaborate with Jane by her side. The 3 Bashars, this is really interesting.
I thought.
Number 3, the highest one, said yes. Number 2, the one in the middle, said yes. And the one on the bottom, who's Daryl is talking to the most, said no. And today, when we were channeling before the show, Bashar 1 stopped the communication between Patricia and Abraham. He put up a block. We cleared him away. We went back to Bashar 2 and 3 and said, "Hey, control your number 1." You know
exactly.
And the impression that we got was like number 1 was like a petulant child in a grocery store.
Yes.
And they're having a fit in the middle of the checkout aisle, and everybody's watching, and the parent doesn't know what to do because the kid
it's unheard
knows.
of.
Yeah,
Yes, it's unheard of, and the irony is one more time, and we talked about it a few minutes ago. Personalities here.
Yes.
This is a huge awakening. Let me say it that way.
It's fascinating if you've been following this at all. It's just really fascinating.
It really is, and it's amazing that all the different personalities that have come out.
Yes.
So
let's do the summary, and then we'll get on to the next segment.
Okay. Jason, what is the summary of this segment?
In our channeling session with Seth, Abraham, and the Bashars, we mainly spoke to Seth. Yes. She turned around the questions and wanted me to answer because she knew I knew the answers. We talked about the missing pieces, but they were present and came from negative energy. The most important idea that came out of this session was the idea to collaborate with each other.
Meaning, I'm sorry,
the 3 non-physical entities
with us.
Yes.
Go ahead.
And also with the audience.
Yes.
To help clear for harmony, clarity, and power to help the earth evolve. One of the things that we know, and we'll talk about that in the next segment, but we invite you, the audience, to help us now create a collaboration that is on Earth and the non-physical dimension for the evolution of Earth. And in order to do that, all you have to do is subscribe to our channel.
There you go.
If you're watching right now, the Ecosystem Approach with Jason and Patricia Roan on YouTube, just subscribe. It's free. It's not gonna cost you anything. Just subscribe, and we don't even know what we're gonna do for our next show.
Hey, surprise!
But we're getting all this information bit by bit. So stay tuned.
And by the way, I want to say, please, not only you that is watching, ask a friend to join you.
Yes.
Like I said, there's so much fun in these discussions. And write your questions down because you're going to get to ask some questions. So with that said, in the next segment, we're going to continue to channel Bashar, Abraham, and Seth to see what additional information we can get from them. This is the Ecosystem Approach Show with Jason and Patricia. This is the Ecosystem Approach Show with Jason, and I'm Patricia. And in this segment, we're going to continue to channel Bashar, Abraham, and Seth to see what additional information we can get from them. Well, here are some of the questions. So
we're going to start with Abraham.
All right.
And one of the things we asked him earlier, so we're trying to give you as much information as we can. It takes a lot longer.
Yes.
But I asked him what expertise he has to offer. It's funny because if you've been listening to any of these 3 for any extended period of time, and many people have.
Yes.
And I understand why. No one's ever asked him, well, why should we listen to you?
Okay.
And so I did.
Leave it to us. Yes. So,
So this is what Abraham said, and we
okay.
want to bring Abraham forward so he can add to this if he wants. Okay.
Yes. Okay.
But he has an understanding of the language and the vibration of our language here on earth.
That's correct.
And it's not just one language, it's the vibration of it. He also says that all humans have an emotionality connected to language.
That's correct.
That
Yes.
that it's a way that we express our emotionality.
Yes.
And for the skills and ability that are useful for people here on earth, he talked about, this is what he talked about while I was trying to use the bathroom, but um, understanding and authentic power, understanding power. That's what he, and that's what we need in today's world.
And Abraham is basically saying people really don't understand. They really don't understand power other than they think power is somebody yelling at you and telling you what to do, that you're wrong and that you,
Or making you do something.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
There's something like that. That's not power. That's just being pushy and a bully. There's that. But the other part is that authentic power enables you to understand things like, and by the way, this is Abraham talking, understand what true vibration is and how to use it to communicate.
Now, are you talking, Abraham? Are you talking about having better communication with human beings, connected with each other? What exactly are you talking about? It doesn't make sense.
That's a really good question. And the answer is yes, better communication with human beings, but also better communication with yourself.
Oh,
People do not understand, humans do not understand that we have to have a better communication with ourselves.
We communicate via programming ourselves as opposed to communicating and listening to ourselves, hearing what our essence has to say.
If you could see the hallelujah, amen, brother here, I have to tell you, it's quite entertaining. Let me say it that way. So, and by the way, that's a form of communication to me because I am, I talk with my hands and that kind of thing. But
tell them what Abraham said about you in terms of communication.
I don't just communicate with words. I communicate with my hands, expressions on my face, body language, and even I can send a message across the room just standing there, and people.
It's one of our jokes as a couple. I tell her, well, I ask, well, should we? I'm at the grocery store. How about if we buy this? And then it's not. She doesn't have to say a word. She gives me the face. And we don't communicate with each other very well. We see couples where we are that can't communicate
At all.
Don't communicate, but first it started as they can't communicate,
Right.
and then it goes downhill from there.
Right.
If we're going to evolve as a group,
Yes.
As a world,
Yes.
we have to first communicate with ourselves. In other words, we don't know how we feel. We don't know who we are.
And by the way,
and what our purpose is.
One of the reasons that they chose us to be able to do all this is because this is what the ecosystem approach helps you do. You start removing, and I'm doing it this way. You start removing negative energy and you start to understand how to communicate with yourself and then others. And this is so very, very, very important. I need to go back to one thing, Jason.
Yeah.
And it's to understand that power is not what we've been programmed to believe that it is. And we're going to do more and more and more about this.
Starting with ourselves.
So that's...
We feel that, we think, and this is an illusion, that power is being able to achieve goals and objectives. We're trained like machines to be goal-driven and achieve goals and objectives. And that's not real power. And it starts first with knowing who you are. You can't be empowered if you have no idea who you are.
Right. And Seth is ask Abraham to step back and
Seth's
understand.
coming forward.
Yes,
Okay, that's great.
exactly. Seth is coming forward
We asked the same question of Seth.
yes.
So, which is, what do you bring to the table for this group? And she started out by saying practicality, emotionality, and clarity.
Right.
And the emotionality was a big thing. So, does she have more information about that?
Let's put it this way. Yes, now is not exactly the time, but the understanding, and when you start to understand yourself, and an example is when you start to understand why you get mad at something, or what causes you a form of confusion,
Or why you feel ashamed,
or
why you're afraid,
exactly,
why you're angry. Yes.
then you can start removing those negative energies, because there is new, because those negative energies are holding you hostage, keeping you from being part of the group to help the world evolve, make a difference, do what your purpose is.
There's so much in I don't want to step on what Seth's saying, but I know that she's building on what Abraham was just saying.
That's
about
exactly
power.
Right. Well, that tells me they're communicating.
Yes. And that emotionality is the part that's missing.
Yes.
We've been told that we shouldn't have any emotionality to have power. That we need to be like a well-oiled machine, boom, and go to the objective. And that's not true.
No, it is not true.
It's not the way human beings are designed.
Not true at all.
So, Seth, we appreciate that. The practicality, emotional clarity, I see that already. Is there anything else you want to add to that, of what you have to offer for humanity?
And something that was, Jason asked the question of, Seth, can you give us an idea about how to communicate with science? Because the frame of science is so rigid, would be the best way.
It keeps us from accepting this energy world of consciousness that we're talking about. Yes.
And she said that it's very important to understand that she and the others are going to help us be able to create a visual so it can be a form of concrete. I don't know, meaning being able to write it down. I'm not real clear on that one. So that the scientific world will be able to go, oh, okay. And I want you to realize something, everyone, this is Patricia, that when this happens, there is going to be breakthroughs in science that will
blow your socks off.
Well, that was
blow your mind. Exactly. Whatever the expression is,
exactly.
It's going to be huge.
Far out, man. Yes. By the way, that was Jane.
Thanks, Jane.
Yeah. Actually, Jane does have a pretty darn good sense of humor, and so does Seth. So, but I'm asking Seth and Jane to back up, and the Bashars.
We're going to talk about them, but why don't we go to break? Right now.
Okay. And then come back and
then come back.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
and by the way, everyone, this is so exciting. I want you to know how excited I am to have this information come through me, just in forms of questions and non-detailed answers. But I feel so gifted to be able to do this.
Well, and remember, if you want to be part of this collaboration with the three entities, us, and we're going to go back and forth because we have something to give them, and that's been unknown also. And I want to talk some more about that.
Okay.
But if you want to be part of that, go to our website. Not our website, but our YouTube channel.
Yeah, there you go.
The Ecosystem Approach with Jason and Patricia Roan. Subscribe to our channel so you get all this information. There's a lot of content on there already. So do that now. This is Jason and Patricia Roan with the Ecosystem Approach.
Join us. Stay tuned.
Yes.
This is the Ecosystem Approach Show with Jason, and I'm Patricia. And in this segment, we're going to show you how to do some clearings to help, well, yes, you, but we're also going to do some clearings to help everyone start to go forward, including the three from the other side.
Yes, and so they can collaborate better. And yes,
exactly. So, but we asked all three, Seth, Abraham, and the Bashars,
to talk about what they brought to the table, what their
yes.
area of expertise
In other
was.
words, what
So remember, there's 3 Bashars.
yes, there are.
So we asked them, and so what are you getting?
Well, what I got earlier, let me say it that way,
Okay.
is that the Bashar 2 and 3, they want to collaborate because they know that by helping everybody that we're talking to, Abraham, Seth, Jason, and myself, and you, the audience, that we're all going to go forward. The biggest problem is that Bashar 1 is being very resistant. So for now, we're going to let it happen.
There's ego there, and
exactly.
So we told them to get Bashar 1 in line. We think, and this is a very interesting concept about how energy works here on Earth.
That's correct.
We think they have all the power up there in the non-physical dimension.
Yes.
But we have free will here, and that has a lot of power to affect not only our own energy. Yes, up there. So
That's correct.
what Patricia got was we're going to end up being the ones that try and make Bashar 1 come into line.
Exactly.
So, and we're going to do that in just a minute. If you clear with us, stay tuned.
Exactly.
You know, you can be a part of the audience that helps us with that. So,
exactly.
So I still don't have a clear understanding of what Bashar 2 and 3 bring to the table.
They bring forward, or bring to the table, yes, information, but the understanding of, now they're saying it's time for everyone to understand all of the information that they've given before. It's valid, it's value, it has value, but now it's time to start with yourself. Personal evolution.
To make sure that happens.
You have to start with you, because when we do that, then we start to change the power of the negative energy. And that's so important.
So I'm still listening for what they're bringing to the table for that. Now, they stated before that their purpose here was to help us with alien interactions, be ready for aliens interactions. And they said this earlier.
They're already here. We're dealing with them all the time. So what's, this is nothing new.
It's not that we have to prepare for that. They're already here.
They're already here. It's now in order to deal with the negative energy. And by the way, the aliens didn't bring the negative energy. The negative energy was here when we got here.
We'll talk more about how
we will.
How that is. And we're going to ask them to help us see and get that story so it's more clear.
Yes, exactly.
But right now it's almost as if these aliens are all around us, but we have to raise our vibration or evolve, and we need to talk in the future.
Yes.
About what it means to evolve exactly.
Okay.
But
by the way, it's an understanding that hasn't ever been. There hasn't been a lot of clarity about it.
So we need something simple, the Bashar 2 and 3, about what they can help us with. We know Abraham's going to help us with power. Seth is going to help us to integrate emotionality in a way that so we can be empowered more.
Well, right now I'm getting that they're going to help us with insight on how to connect with ourselves in a way. I just got that.
Oh, wow.
That's huge.
So what does that mean exactly?
That means that having an understanding by removing negative energy of yourself. Each one of us has a purpose here, and those purposes have been thrown by the wayside. They've not been addressed.
And without those purposes, I know, this is Jason talking, that we can't evolve.
That is
So
exactly
that
right.
serves the dark, but it doesn't serve
And
you personally.
the dark, what he means by that is negative energy.
Yes.
And this is not acceptable. So let's get to doing one of the things that Jason and I came up with is that if we start to clear as a group, all of us, the power will be amazing. So I'm going to recommend that we do maybe 3 clearings.
Okay.
And so Jason, real fast, let's talk about the clearing. It's a way of removing negative energy.
Well, we want to show 2 things.
Okay.
We're going to talk about how you can remove it for yourself, which of course is the most important.
Start there.
Then we're going to talk about how we as a group and an audience can clear them so that they can be more effective for us. How's that for empowering? Oh my gosh.
I mean, think about how amazing that is.
That gives me chills.
Yes, it really, really does. And by the way, anybody I just got this fear factor. Oh my gosh, what do they think they're doing? I guarantee you,
really empowering for the whole world.
Exactly.
Be part of this. Tell your friends,
please
come subscribe to our channel. Okay.
Yes.
So here's how you clear for yourself.
Okay.
You can be standing, sitting, walking. You don't have to be in a reverent position.
Correct.
I think that comes from the old Judeo-Christian where you pray with your head bowed.
Yes.
Now people do the lotus position.
Yes.
You can do that if you that's comfortable, but you can stand on your head. You can be yes, well, we all do all sorts of things. Okay. So, and we always do it when we're walking the dogs in the morning, shower, we're doing something mindless,
or having a cup of coffee,
laundry, all those things.
And then there's the laundry.
Well, yes. So I'm getting everybody back down to earth. So you can do it anytime. So it's a very simple process. We say these words and we get to eliminate. And when we say eliminate, in your mind's eye, in your imagination, gather up, starting in tips of your toe, the things to eliminate, whether they're veils and illusions, barriers, or negative energies, fears, emotions.
You're going to lift them up and you're going to use that processor. That processor is one of the most important tools.
We show it on every show. You won't see it today, but you'll go watch some other shows and you'll see it.
And definitely.
And that's a big part of what we're doing. And we're going to talk some more about the processor going forward.
Exactly. Don't throw negative energy on the ground or just
randomly.
Don't do that because you're not helping you and you're not helping anybody else.
It still exists.
Yes.
So put it in the processor. So then here's the exciting part. So how do you clear them?
Okay.
The 3 Bashars, we'll start with them. Bashar 1 is acting out, and Bashar 2 and Bashar 3 want some help to get Bashar 1 to get in line. So here we go.
All right, you ready?
This is how you do it. I direct all my resources in all dimensions to eliminate the competition, the jealousy, the need for attention that Bashar 1 has holding on to, that keeps him from collaborating with not only the other Bashars, but with Seth and the Abrahams.
Correct.
Take a breath and blow it into the processor. So imagine it's going, picture the Bashars in your mind. Now there's no real picture of Bashar.
But I see them as 3 entities stacked on top of each other. And so lift up that negative energy on those 3 stacked people or entities, and then throw it into the processor. By the way, the processor can handle anything.
So, and it's not that you have to have the picture exactly right.
No.
It's just your intention. And just saying the word Bashar 1.
Yes.
Then it's going to be cleared in the right way. So, and to eliminate.
There you go.
The resistance that Bashar 1 has to being cleared.
Yes.
Especially by us, especially by the people that he's been talking to, and he's got this elevated position. He doesn't want to appear weak or vulnerable or any of that.
That is correct.
He's got to let that go. So here we go. And to eliminate the resistance that Bashar 1 has to eliminate that need to be elevated or to be exalted with human beings.
Take a breath and throw it away. All right. I have one more for this. And to eliminate all the negative energies between the Bashars, Abraham, and Seth, I release and let go of those negative energies. I'm picking it up. That's keeping them from communicating and
Yes.
helping not only each other, but us and the world. Throw it in the processor. Now I'm going to do one more thing, and to activate life force, so that life force will help you with clarity and will also help Bashar's, Abraham, and Seth with the processes that need to happen in going forward, starting right now, today, so that all of us can start to communicate easily, smoothly, and with clarity from this day forward. Pull in that life force energy and blow out any negative energy left over. I would like to thank you all for joining us. I realize this has not been the standard show that we've had, but I would like to thank you. And we will connect real soon. And by the way, if you felt some physical sensation or buzz or just excitement about the information, now is the time to join us.
And it doesn't
Jason?
matter when you listen to this show, you can
Exactly.
participate in this clearing.
Yes, you
Time
can.
and space is not the same on the energy world.
That's
and
exactly
be sure
right.
you're subscribed to our channel, The Ecosystem Approach with Jason and Patricia Roan on YouTube. And
Yes.
We'll keep talking.
Okay. Bye-bye, everyone. We'll talk soon.
Thank you for listening to the Ecosystem Approach show with Jason and Patricia. I'm Patricia. Tune in every week as we discuss practical ways to apply the ecosystem approach and develop your potential to live your life on your terms. For more information, visit our website at theecosystemapproach.org.